Welcome back, Blade fans. OG with you. Blade reviews, that is. Yes, well, what we got here? A new company for me. Well, not really. I've had O-Knives before, and if you don't know, O-Knife is a subsidiary or part of the O-Light company that bring you all those innovative and bright different sized flashlights, torches if you live in the UK and elsewhere. Well, they sent me this, and I want to thank Jane over at Own Knife for reaching out. And I'm happy to show you this new tool. It's a knife, but it's a tool because it accepts utility blades, but a very unique one in this case. And we may as well just pop it out of the box. Came with this little accessory, cap lifter, screwdriver, and I'll show you what this little opening here is used for. As with most of O-Knives, if not all of O-Knives and O-Light's packaging, they do a real neat thing here, and I'm going to back out just a bit. They give you convenient ways to open. There's the arrow pointing at where the knife or the flashlight would be. And there we have it, pretty simply. And I wonder if this tells us anything additional. Come on, get out of there. Okay, yeah, shows you how to change the blade. We're going to get into that in a moment. And some instructions. Okay, so you're going to be well instructed. And they sent me a sheet with 3 pages of info about this knife. It is the U1 Ultra, by the way, in case you didn't see that on the box. I'll show you again. Oh, are you a U1 Ultra? This one's with an aluminum handle, and for $10 more, you can get a titanium handle. Now, it's an upgrade from the U1, which had, near as I can recall on the data sheets and so forth, a micarta handle with maybe a steel frame. Here we have aluminum. It's still fairly hefty, and probably because there is an inner steel frame. We'll take a look at that in a minute. I'm going to leave the tool out there, maybe over on the side here, and show you around this guy. You're going to notice something really unique when I open it. What is this? Got a plastic blade? Well, we'll discuss that in a momento. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got a steel frame in here. Let's see if I can shine a light in there. This much I wasn't told. I got the phone on the belt. Gets in the way of the pocket. All right, what do we got? Yeah. So mostly aluminum and a little bit of steel support there and some bearings. I've got so many different stats and specs rather on this that I'll try to weed out the ones that you may not be interested in and share with you the ones that you will be interested in. So this has an interchangeable blade that is ceramic. And, well, it's going to drop on July 8th, which is going to be Amazon Day. This video of mine is dropping on the same day, so July 8th, 2025. It is a brand new release for O-Knife. The previous version is already out. It's been out for some time, I understand. But what we've got here is premium zirconium oxide ceramic with a 1200 HV hardness. That translates to 75 Rockwell. 75 Rockwell. You heard me correctly. It's got a screw-in blade, and the blade, notice, achieves 85% of the size of the utility blade. So we've got ultra-high blade utilization. Uh, Usually these types of knives that have been out from different manufacturers for a while utilize an average of below 45%, according to the data sheet that I'm reading from right now. It's got a deep carry pocket clip, precision machined ceramic bearings, and super aluminum OAL trademark. It's got native oxidation. Oh my God. Blade material, zirconium oxide ceramic. That doesn't mean you can't put a steel blade in here, but this is going to last you about 10 times longer than a standard steel blade. That is, if you behave yourself and don't pry with it or try to cut wires or anything else that's hard, because 75 HRC is brittle. So be careful of your use of the point. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure there will be replacement zirconium blades out there. You will see a link in my description that'll bring you to Amazon. I hope you use my link, because the channel does benefit when you use my link. And they kind of total up the number of sales that come from this review, so to speak. Here are some stats. Handle material, finish, native oxidation, sorry. Read that as anodization. Oh my God. It's early and my mouth doesn't work. Overall length, 5.74 inches or 145.8 millimeters. Closed length, 3.38 inches or 85.9 millimeters. Blade length, 2.36 inches, 59.9 millimeters. And the blade thickness, quite thin, 0.02. And I don't know that I'm going to show you many more specs on this. I'll let you look at that for just a moment. The exceptional edge acuity, sharper and longer lasting than steel blades, up to 10 times. Superior cutting performance, advanced high precision flat surface brushing treatment. Screw secured blade, ultra high blade utilization. So yeah, I think I've given you most of the salient specs. I noticed that this was kind of hard to unscrew, and then I figured out that they gave me this tool for a reason, besides lifting bottle caps for your beer, your soda, whatever, and having a little flat bit screwdriver on the front, is that this guy here, which is got some roughness to it, some milling, some teeth on the inside, actually fits over this round screw. And if I don't jam my finger onto the blade there, I think it can actually be done, by the way. Here, you want to be a little safer, or bring it part of the way out, like that. There we go. So it was in there fairly snug. Probably used a machine of some sort to do that. But your standard blades, once I take this completely out, you see it's a screw that goes through the blade. I think they might have a little Loctite on there because it's not exactly loose. Might need to do this again. So it's a good thing that they gave us this little tool. Still coming out with a little bit. I wonder if they got like a washer or something on there. Trying to look with my eyes directly in front of me and make sure you don't lose sight of it in the frame. There we go. Wow, it's snug. I guess that's a good thing. You don't want it coming out when you don't want it to. And yeah, that's loosening up a little bit. Not sure if I need to take this out completely. Probably do. Might need to do this off camera if this takes much longer. There we go. Finally getting finger loose. Wow. Okay. So what do we got going on here? I'm sure I didn't look at the instructions. This, I'm going to go off camera for a minute. Wow, well, I figured it out. And read the instructions, dummy. It rocks out. So here we have the ceramic blade. Double-sided, but most of it is exposed, like 85% of it is exposed. Also, what I'm wondering is if the screw really needs to come completely out. All right, so guys, the blade goes in. I should have been a little more educated on this before I did it. Pretty easy, actually. You put the tip in, and then the slots there align with this. And as far as I can tell, yeah, there's no way to put it any deeper or any farther out, but that's fine because it has so much of the edge exposed. If I went off screen there, my apologies again. So, you know, they're showing this tightening with the finger, but at least my copy, I need this little wrench here. So I think what is going on here is that I took that screw all the way out and I shouldn't have. You just loosen it, okay? And it's mostly back in now, and it did loosen up and become more easily interchangeable by using my fingers and maybe my thumbnail. It is now in a little tighter. I suggest maybe you keep this guy around so that you can snug it down all the way. But I believe this was the system they needed to come up with, and I'm taking a little of the blackness off of there. All right, it's in there pretty solid. The system they came up with this screw enables it to be clamped from the back, giving you more cutting surface, okay? So sorry for all the complexities involved here, probably unnecessary, but let's get into the action, okay? And I may very well cut out that portion that came before. You can use the back flipper. You can use the thumb stud front flipper very easily. Deep carry clip. It is not transferable to the left, unfortunately, but is milled in and held in with one screw, which is nice. So we've got a flat-headed screw. You've got a milled in portion of the aluminum handle. Again, for 10 bucks more, you can pick this up for, I think, 69 instead of 59 or something like that. You'll see all of that when you get out to Amazon. So the link I give you will bring you out to Amazon. Got a lanyard hole here. No, it's not a lanyard hole. My bad. It's a body screw. Just one. And we got one on the other side as well. I haven't disassembled it. And given my experience with changing the blade, which made it much more complex than it needed to be. See, I bet you I can do that with my fingers now. Although, no, I'm sorry. I tightened it in with a wrench. Yeah, I'm coming across like a real klutz today. Not my usual klutziness, but a little extra. Holds nice in the hand, and we've got jimping That all important jimping on the back of the holder for the blade. And this blade be sharp. Of course, it's a utility blade, but it is a smooth as silk ceramic utility blade. Look at that. I mean, it's like beyond sharp, okay? But again, standard utility blade. So either if you don't like the ceramic or your ceramic eventually wears out, like in 10 years, I don't know, depending upon the usage, then you could put a steel blade in there. Or I would imagine by then you will see ceramic blade replacements coming from Oknife and perhaps elsewhere. I already see them out on Amazon, but I'm not sure if they're this quality or lesser quality, greater quality, what have you. Holds nice. And I did give you the measurements, but let's just stick the ruler out there. I mean, it is a light knife. Yeah, coming in at just under 6 inches overall. And the cutting edge of the blade about 2 1/4, just about exactly. Like a 2.6 overall to the handle. So thickness here. Not sure they gave us this, but they did give us so much that we might have this as well. 0.45 on the aluminum handle and 11.8 millimeters. I'll bring my spec sheet forth again. And yep, the only thing I didn't just get a moment ago is the weight. And the net weight is 2.26 ounces, 64 grams. Right. Let's bring out, as I was planning to do before all the confusion, my Exo U from Riot. Got the lock there, got the gravity open, and comes with a steel blade. It's a thinner variety steel blade. I noticed with the Exo U that the heavy duty blades do not fit in that little cage there. So that is interesting. And they've got a different method of taking their blades out. They've got a spring that you compress here. And should I really be doing more disassembly on screen here? There we go. So with this one, you do that. You notice I already munged up the blade, so I switched it around. And it isn't all that difficult to do. You got to put the 2 little pins in the lower part of that cage and then just snap it in. All right, so seemingly a little easier than this guy, but you got some wiggle to the blade, which you're not experiencing here whatsoever because it's clamped in tight with that screw on the top. So another advantage to the screw. Of course, you can see how little real estate you're using here does allow you to flip it around eventually and use the other point and use the rest of that edge. But if you want to get it into play all at once for slicing something larger, then that's an advantage. Finally, my little Tucson here. I've had this for a long time, probably 4 years at least. You can see the blade has been carried in my pocket, getting a little rust on it. A DeWalt. This has a whole different method of releasing the blade. We got a button here, but it's also a little more of a multi-tool than these other guys. I should probably back out a little more here. There we go. So that's held in there pretty tight, and you can reverse it. You can push that down and slide it all the way out. But you've got a hex head wrench there. You've got a multi-step wrench spaces in here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sizes. We've got a pry bar and a nail puller. We've got a Phillips head. So yeah, it's kind of a little multi-tool, titanium, and locks in place there. In order to use the some of the tools here, you need to take the blade completely out, and then you've got the cap lifter, and you've got open access to all the other internal tools there. But kind of cool, kind of cool. I have used this, I have carried this, and it's a useful little item. You just got to kind of gingerly put the blade in and out there. But those are the three interchangeable box cutter utility knives that I have so far prior to the U1 Ultra from Oknife. There are the automatic versions, the out the front, and I think maybe even out the side autos from some other companies. I'm not going to get into that. I don't have them and I can't show them to you. But here we have, once again, the U1 Ultra. There it says so. Here it is from Oknife. I do have some regular O knives that are not utility knives. I didn't bring them out on the table because, you know, they're larger knives and they're kind of a different sort of a thing. But nice action on this. I would say easy to deploy, right? It's on bearings, and you know, you can press the button and yes, you can. Flip it out. That's a good thing because one thing I always like to check on button knives is how easy do they close. If I push all the way in and I have to push in decisively, it'll close. But if I accidentally push on it, that's nice. Not going to close. Don't want it closing on my fingers, although you've got sort of a safety here with a guard. So should that get released and your hand is there, your finger will stop it on the guard. I also like that. So please use my link, as I was saying. That'll bring you out to Amazon, and you can purchase one of these babies. I believe there are different handle colors. You can check them out. And again, there is the titanium version for 10 bucks more than the aluminum. I believe the aluminum is going to be a bit lighter than the titanium, in my experience anyway. Yes, we got jimping there, and we got jimping on the back of the blade holder. But check it out, because the ceramic blades are really, really unique. You're going to sort of limit yourself to box opening and cutting softer materials. I wouldn't strip wire with it, or definitely wouldn't pry with it, because, well, you wouldn't want to pry with the utility blade anyway. You're going to snap the tip off of even the steel ones. But there you have it. And thank you, Oknife, for sending this my way. They've got other releases occurring over the summer, and you'll see at least one other, a non-utility knife, a standard folding knife. Not going to tell you much more about it, but it's going to be very special, and I think you're really going to enjoy it by a well-known knife designer. Be well, take care. Don't forget to click my logo over there, and it'll bring you to a place where you can subscribe to my channel, and I hope you do. Be well, take care, stay safe.